You're rocking with some of the realest coaches in the game. Coach RB and Coach CB. Area code 459.
What's up, area code 459? It's your boy, Coach RB. I'm hanging with my co-host. She doesn't need an introduction, Coach CB. What's up, Caitlin?
What's up, Coach B? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. See, we got a special guest in the house, but before we can get to our guests, we always have to thank people that are special to us. Take it away, Caitlin.
Yeah, man, we like to thank all of our sponsors, East Bay, J-May Crafts, and In-House Ink. Beautiful artwork behind Coach RB. That's the logo that's been made. We're getting a merchandise store available for you guys. We have a whole lot coming, and they're the three main people that have helped us get that off the ground. Of course, we'd still like to thank God. We like to thank our family and our friends, everyone that supported us along the way. We're excited, and we couldn't have done it without them.
All right, that's what's up, man. We have a special guest in the house, man. It's one of my good friends, man. He's a young man that came to me from Atlanta, Georgia. Played basketball, AAU basketball on different teams and different circuits. He would go on to play at Huntington University in Huntington College in Montgomery, Alabama, where he would start 2 years for the Hawks. He would also play at Spring Hill in college in Mobile, Alabama, which is Division II. He is now working on his ability to go overseas and play professional basketball. In the meantime, he works as a manager and shift operator at JB Hunt. We are so excited to have you, Mr. RJ Jones. What's up, RJ?
What's going on? Glad to be here. Glad to be on the show.
All right. Well, tonight, Caitlin, we're talking about who would you like to collaborate with? Man, when I thought about this right off the bat, I said, man, collaboration, man. We do this all the time. All three of us have coached basketball. We've actually coached on the same staff. When I thought about the thing about collaboration, it's that idea that you work with another person or a group of people to achieve or to do something. This actually is rather simple and fundamentally, but it fundamentally comes down coordinating your efforts and doing your best to be successful. I know, RJ, I just introduced to you about being a shift leader and a shift manager for JB Hunt and how important that is to make sure that your crews are moving on and up and down the road. There are three simple tasks that you need to be able to do when collaborating with somebody. You need to be able to give and receive feedback from your peers and your team members. You also have to be able to share the credit. Some people like to be like all about them. When you're collaborating, you got to be able to have that safe space and have the ability to share your ideas. You also have to be able to acknowledge other skills, other experiences, creativity, and contributions. Listen to acknowledge people's feelings, concerns, opinions, ideas, and others. So tonight, what I want to do is I want to know who in your mind, if you could just make up one person in your dreams, anybody you want to collaborate with, who would you want to and why? RJ, go ahead, take it away.
We did talk about this before. I'm gonna be kind of cliche for a second. Well, besides you two collaborating, I have a lot of reasons why I would like to collaborate with y'all, because we think differently, but then the same at the same time. Like, we have the same mentality when it comes to work ethic. Like, we know how to get it out the mud. Like, we know what it takes to get where we want to go. Like, we have a plan. Now, besides that, I'm gonna keep it the same person. I do want Bradley Bill, just because he has the same mindset as me as well. Like, he does stuff on the court and off the court that really impacts the community. You know, he's in DC. Like I said, I watched the podcast before where, you know, we're in quarantine right now, but he's still giving to the community himself. Like, he has to take care of his family, but he's still, you know, I think it was all the seniors that was at a school that he was funding, got them all laptops so they can finish their classes so they can go on to college. Like, little stuff like that. Like, people don't realize that can go a long way for somebody that might not even have a laptop to, you know, get their work done at home. So just somebody like him. And then, of course, on the court where I want to go, I want to be at the level that he's at. You know, that's definitely a dream of mine. So why not look at somebody that's doing it and doing it well?
There you go.
You talk about people that impact the community, man. The guy that I want to collaborate with is Inky Johnson. You know, I've been watching him since I was in high school, listening to him. I actually got to see him speak, met him in person, and like my heart has always been for those who don't have a head start in life. Specifically the inner city. That's where I've spent most of my time while I was in college, working and investing into the lives of the young men and women down there, and just seeing his journey. You know, I've been through a lot of pain in my life, a lot of injury too when it comes to sports. And so to see his mindset and the way he uses his energy and his injury as well, to inspire and motivate, and he doesn't use it as a handicap, but he uses it as a way to elevate his life, and not only his life but the lives around him. And then he works in the inner city with 2 shelter homes, and then he also works with a homeless shelter as well. So he has the kids and he has a homeless shelter. He's giving back, but at the same time he's using his story to inspire others, and that's really what I set out to do. So if I could collaborate with anybody, it'd be Inky Johnson, man.
Man, if I had to collaborate with somebody, it'd be Big Daddy Diesel. If you listening to this, man, Big Shaquille O'Neal, man, Big 7'1". The reason why I would want to collaborate with that guy is because I played football, he played basketball. He's tall and I'm small. You know what I mean? Like we just are like opposites in the way we look, but we are the same person, man. He actually grew up with a military stepfather, which I actually grew up with a military father. Big discipline. I went on to LSU to play, dropped out of his junior year, played basketball. Everybody knows who Shaquille O'Neal is, man. He's the greatest center of all time. Yes, I know we could talk about people like, you know, Bill Russell, and we could talk about Wilt Chamberlain, but I will have to say, me growing up with Shaq, I would say that he's one of the most dominant big men to ever play the game. But it wasn't what he did on the court, because that was phenomenal, but it's what he's done off the court. Man, he's gone back and gotten his master's degree in business administration, turned around and got a doctorate from, went back and got his doctorate degree in education. He has businesses in the restaurant, Krispy Kreme's in Atlanta. He is a board executive member for Papa John's. He also is a volunteer sheriff, so he also volunteer sheriff deputy, so he also gives back volunteering his time. He rocks, and he's a DJ. I mean, if it had to be anybody I could pick, you know, to collaborate with, it'd have to be somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, because he is okay with failing. All y'all seen Kazam. Come on now. All y'all seen Kazam. You know, he's not that guy that's like, you know what, if this is perfect, everything doesn't have to be perfect for him. He's okay with failing, and sometimes failure leads to success, and sometimes you have to look at it and say, you know what, I'm safe enough to fail. We actually heard from one of our guests one time. It was like, yo, you know, if you fail, that's okay, you know, just get back and keep going. You know what I mean? Like be around people and collaborate with people who elevate you. And I think that Shaq not only would pick me up on his shoulders and make me 7'3" or whatever, you know what I mean, he would also lift me up and make me a better person, man. The next question I want to throw out in the air is your collaboration, do you feel, RJ, do you feel like your collaboration will be good or bad?
With our said person, or
Yeah.
just yeah, easily. It's like people always say, 2 brains are better than 1. I mean, for somebody to kind of sit there and they can kind of guide you on what you want to do in life, I feel like that can be that collaboration. I feel like there might be something that Bradley Bill might not be able to do that I can help him with, whether it be like how we are, like if there's something with technology, okay, hey, that I can help you with that. Or for him, it might be, hey, his outreach, we can collab on that. So I definitely think my collab will be good, especially he's a people person. I'm very social. I'm not, I know I might have a stern face, but I like to smile a lot. I like to talk to a lot of people. I'm an outgoing person. Bradley Bill's the same way. Like you might not approach him just because he might look mean, you know, but at the same time you start talking to him, you're like, wow, this outgoing, like this is a good guy.
Right. Definitely. What about you, Caitlin? Good or bad?
Well, obviously, I think it'd be great. You know, I wouldn't want to choose somebody to collaborate with that I wouldn't necessarily have a good time with. I think Inky Johnson would add value to my life. I think he would teach me how to interact with people that I've never been able to interact with before, never had that exposure to. I think he would teach me the right way as well. I think he would also grow and develop me as a speaker, as someone who's able to share their story and teach me how to allow it to impact and not drag down, because it's very easy to let the dark part of your life be highlighted instead of highlighting the light part and how it's changed and grown you. Also at the same time, I think he would expose me to a different side of business, different side of how you can go in and make a change, because sometimes helping can hurt. So he would teach me how I can help, but at the same time not hurt other people.
Right. I think my guy would be great as well. I'm gonna go past good and say great. And the reason why I said that is because Big Diesel's all about creativity. If anybody want to say this man does not have a creative mind, man, you crazy. And what's crazy about that is like that dude actually put Shacks on Walmart, stores, and everybody's like, you rocking Shacks? I'm like, no. But you got to be creative to throw some Shacks out there. You also have to be creative to do Kazam, or wanting to do DJ, want to travel the world. Want to raise two his sons. So it's big for me to it would be big for me to collaborate with him, because I already have a creative mind, and you guys kind of already know that about me. Like Coach B likes to be creative. I don't like to sit back and just kind of hang back. I always like to be in the forefront. And who else to be in the front of the line than hanging out with Shaq? We probably have to change his name to Goliath though, because I'd be David. David and Goliath without the fight though, because I don't want to lose. Because in biblical times, David actually won, but Diesel will probably beat me. So with that being said, I think it would be great because of creativity and his contribution to my life, making me even better than I already am. How, RJ and Caitlin, how has working with someone else produced growth in your life? And this is not with said person. This is just with collaborations in your life right now. How does it help produce growth?
For me, it's you're teaching and learning. I kind of do this with my job now because I have a lot of drivers, of course, and I have, dispatch workers, I have administrative assistants, and then I have my account manager. And so with the growth part, like I'm 23 and I'm managing, 40, 50-year-olds that, they're so used to something that they don't want to change. So now you got to figure out, how can you bring in new with the old? And sometimes it butts heads. Like you want to bring in new so bad, and a lot of people they see that, and then they butt heads with everybody they work with, and
Right.
That's what I don't want to do. So I actually had that happen with one of my drivers, and I had to take a step back. Like, whoa, like I'm the manager, like this is my driver. We shouldn't be doing this. Like we should be collaborating. Like we should be aiming for one goal, and that's to, whether it's getting out safely, coming back safely, delivering whatever needs to be delivered, coming back with the least amount of product, But yelling and stuff like that, just little stuff like that, I learned that doesn't work. And I kind of looked at my account manager, and he does that a lot. Not to put him on blast, I'm not going to put his name,
Right.
but I just see stuff like that, and I'm like, that didn't work.
Okay.
And so I kind of see that, and I'm like, okay, I kind of build off of it, and I see the growth within. I started working there in August, and it's June now, about to go in July, and I can see the response from the people I work with, my drivers. I can see all that stuff kind of trending in the right direction. And even my upper management, they have called and they're like, we love what you've been doing since, August. Like we can definitely see that, an account that was 38 out of 38 is now top 10.
Nice.
So it's just stuff like that where it's like, okay, it's not because I'm just out here doing magic stuff. It's because I learned and taught at the same time.
Learning and teaching, man. That's a good gem, man. Appreciate that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a great thing to know. But at the same time, for me, I think collaboration can, like you said, produce growth. But I think at the same time, you can have bad collaboration and good collaboration. Like I could work with somebody that I don't like to work with, but it's gonna pull either my strengths out and grow my strengths and make them even stronger, or it's going to point out my weaknesses and show me areas where I need to improve in. You know what I mean? And so I think collaboration is a great thing. I think it can teach you so much. Like I always say, put yourself in a place to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So I think collaboration is that key, because a lot of times people are going to work by themselves because it's easier to do it that way. You can do it by yourself. You're not going to have any input. The way you're doing it is going to be the right way to yourself, but when you get in a group of people, everybody's going to have an idea. Your idea might be shot down. The group might not think it'll work together as a whole. But at the end of the day, like, more minds are going to come together and you're going to create a better product than if you're just thinking in one direction, So I think collaboration has definitely produced a lot of growth in my life. It has also pointed out a lot of weak areas. And so I've really had to grow in myself to learn how to be better as a teammate, as a collaborator. And overall, yeah, it's produced a lot of growth in my life.
Wow, you guys definitely like hit the nail on the head. I might as well not even say anything, but teaching and learning, strengths and weaknesses, those are all the things that I always encompass. I used to coach full time, and everybody used to call me the players coach. Like, everybody knew when they were going to Coach B that they were not only getting a mentor, a leader, a teacher, but they were getting somebody to collaborate with. Like, I was going to sit you down, I was going to ask you your dreams and aspirations, and we were going to create a partnership to make that successful. So I love that. And what I notice in coaching is, that's the coach that a lot of people don't like as far as other peers. I actually been hated on by my peers. So sometimes it was hard to collaborate with those peers that were working against you. But like Caitlin said, you were able to pull your strength out. Maybe you have this attitude where you, firecracker, right? You maybe be a firecracker, or somebody might get on your nerves. You just find a way to be a better communicator because of that. You know what I mean? And sometimes to be a better communicator it isn't always about speaking, right? Caitlin and I have heard speakers talking about, hey, you got 2 of these and 1 of these, and that's the reason. So sometimes in collaboration, you have to be a better listener, right? So the ability to be a better listener, to be able to communicate with people, that really has helped me with my collaboration and growing. As we talk about collaboration, what qualities of a person would you be able to collaborate with, and what qualities would you not be able to collaborate with?
I'm gonna start with who I cannot collaborate with, what qualities I can. I only have one, and that quality is you just don't have substance. Like, if you, I've seen a lot of people that lack a lot of substance, whether they can't hold a conversation, whether they don't have a plan, they don't know where they want to go in life, and you're trying to help them with all this, but at the same time, like, you're helping them, who's helping you? Not to be selfish, but that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't want to, leech out and try and bring my problems onto somebody that doesn't even have a problem, or they see they don't have a problem, So that's one thing. Somebody that I can collaborate with, it's a list. If I have one thing that I can't collaborate with, that means I have 100 that I can. So I can deal with the cockiness, I can deal with the arrogance, I can deal with all that stuff. I can collaborate with those because they all have a mindset that, hey, I can go and do something and I have a plan on doing it. So I think those are pretty much the difference. But there's no one quality that I can collaborate with, because they all pretty much run into each other. Nice. But yeah, substance, you got to have that to collaborate with me, honestly.
I feel you. And then, you know what? There's nothing wrong with substance, and I don't mean to cut Caitlin off, but she's gonna get the answer after me this time. But there's nothing wrong with wanting somebody with substance. I don't know if I would say substance from my standpoint. I would say more like, if you are not an elevator, you know what I mean? I'm looking for somebody to push me to another level. So sometimes some people aren't on our level, right? And I just take an idea of when I used to coach. I used to coach at a small community, and everybody knows that roster 1 through 12. Number 1 was way better than number 12. You know what I mean? And number 6 and number 8 were kind of close, but they had different skills. So how do you get 1 through 12 to collaborate, right? How do you get that team to mesh and to understand? And I used to always tell my top guys, and this is something that Caitlin pulled into my head. That's kind of why I jumped in front of her, is she talked about, strength and weaknesses. Sometimes when you have to collaborate with somebody and they don't have the ability to elevate you, maybe this is your opportunity to build a skill as a leader, right, to try to elevate someone else. Now, I'm not saying that you have to put your eggs all into one basket, and put more time, because everybody knows time is money. We're not going to sit here and act like time ain't money, right? If you're doing something, you're taking your time. That's one valuable object you don't get back, is your time. But what I do want you to know from my standpoint is, I look at people I collaborate with all the time. My co-host Caitlin, I look at you, RJ, I look at all of our friends in our friends group, and I say, you know what? All those guys aren't on my level, but I do try to push certain gems and nuggets to everybody to show them, hey, this is how you elevate. You know what I mean? And then once again, yes, you have to have somebody elevating you. So who would I want to collaborate with? Is somebody that challenges me. You have to challenge me. You know what I mean? If I want to collaborate with you, there's something about you that I want to see that's challenging. You know what I mean? Like, I could collaborate with almost anybody like you, Jay, but when I say who do I want to collaborate with, it has to be somebody that challenges me. I want to collaborate with somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, who has a doctorate degree. I want to collaborate with somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, who was a professional athlete, that says, you know what? I know how to talk in different boardrooms and different executive rooms and different spaces. I want to collaborate with somebody like that, because those type of people elevate you. You see what I'm saying? And it's almost like my favorite verse, right? Iron sharpens iron, one does to another. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've got to be able to go with somebody that can elevate me and push me to another level. And that's the ones I want to collaborate with. Level up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. For me, I'm all about communication. And it's really hard for me to work with people that don't know how to communicate well. Especially, like you said, time is money. Respect my time. I respect your time. Communication is a big part of that. And like, I've been in a couple of instances where I had to come to job training, or I had to show up for the first day of work, and scheduling got mixed up, or they needed me somewhere else and it was communicated late, and I already had scheduled other things in certain time slots, and I wasn't like either able to work or whatever. But I miss out on opportunities in life because of communication issues. And collaborating with those people is very hard for me, because I'm big on communication. I'm big on talking to people. I'm big on letting people know. Like, sometimes I just think to myself, like, man, maybe I'm telling them way too much information, but I'd rather tell way too much than too little. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm all about communication. Also, one other thing that I don't like to work with is, like you said, people that aren't solution minded. I'm very solution minded. If you're always focused on the problem, then you're always going to be in a negative headspace, and you're always going to be like not able to accept help, not able to accept constructive criticism, not able to see the light in the darkness. And so that's very hard for me to collaborate with, because I'm very solution minded. I'm very I'm looking forward to something. I'm trying to see how I can move around obstacles, especially like right now during Corona. It's throwing so many obstacles, but at the same time, can't be discouraged. I always have to find the light in the storm and looking for something greater than what the situation is happening right now. So those two things, communication, and then people that are always so negative when it comes to their thinking. They're not solution-minded. They're problem-focused. Those are two people that are hard for me to collaborate with. On the flip side, like you said, women are very emotional, and I'm starting to learn that the more I spend more time with myself, and the more I grow up, and the more I mature. So I like working with people that are blunt. I like working with people that don't care about my feelings, because it just gives me a taste of the world every day. And it allows me to think more clearly. It pulls me out of my emotional state as a woman, and it allows me to be more of a critical thinker. So I like people that are honest with me, people that don't hold anything back, people that are real. And at the same time, they're going to still push me and grow me, because they care about me in the end.
Right.
If you're going to be honest with me and tell me the truth, then you care more about me than if you're going to sit there and lie to me and make me feel better because you don't want to hurt my feelings.
There you go.
those are the people that I like to collaborate with. People that are honest and real and don't care about my feelings, but at the end of the day, they still care about where I'm going in life.
Right. And can I throw this out there? Because I know you guys remember, I've coached both of you, so you already know I said this. I used to say, and if a parent is listening to this, I am sorry, but I used to tell my players, your parents are going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. Your parents are going to say things like Santa Claus is real and that they love you, which I hope, parents, you do love you. But I said, I'm going to tell you that a stripe is a stripe, that it's black and it's white. I'm not going to give you a gray area. It's like, this is what it is. And like Caitlin said, man, the word is going to push you and challenge you, and you're going to reach out and you're going to get into a situation where you have to know better. You know what I mean? And who better to have and who better to lean on for accountability than your collaboration partner that's going to tell you the truth, right? How do you work with someone that you don't like? How do you work with someone with the traits that you don't like without damaging your relationship with them?
Dude, let me answer this one first.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So you're always going to work with somebody that's going to challenge you and not do things the way you want. So for me, I said, I don't like people that are bad communicators, and I don't like people that are problem focused. So when I deal with people that are bad communicators, I let them know. I say, hey, I will do my best to be there and make it happen for you. But at the end of the day, this is the issue, and we need to do a better job of fixing it. So I elevate the communication because I'm a good communicator, and I try and add value to a place where they're weak because I'm strong in that area. When it comes to being problem focused, I start coming up with solutions. I say, hey, what about this solution? They turn it down. Hey, what about this solution? They turn it down. Hey, what about this solution? They turn it down. And then I let them be. And I say, I've tried to help you. If you would like my help, come back to me at a later date, and I will still be available to help you. But until you're ready to accept help, then I'm not going to stay here and continue to flow my energy into you. Like, people know that I'm always going to be there for them. But at the end of the day, they'll come to you when they need my help. I'm not going to always force my help on other people, if that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to drain myself, and I'm not filling somebody else up because they're not accepting it.
Right. Good.
And so, and then when it comes to damaging relationship, it's all about how you approach the problem. You know, I could come at you and I could be like, you're doing this, this, and this, and this wrong. Instead, I learned something in school, and it's all about like telling stories or telling a story in a way that it allows somebody to see how you're feeling, seeing your perspective. So like, say I have a problem and I'll explain it in a way like, hey, I want you to see it from my point. This is how I'm looking at it. I'm not saying that you're doing it wrong or it is a problem, but I'm not digging at you. I want to elevate you. I want to help you to be better. So I'm going to show you how I'm seeing it, and maybe we can see the same thing at the end of the story or at the end of the conversation.
Yeah, and I'm a leech on to what CB is saying. Mine more so is just pinpoint all their positives. You know, they usually people are around you for a certain reason. Like mine was lacking substance. Okay, but what else do they have? They must have something that keeps you around them. They want to be around you for something. All right, so when you pinpoint those positive attributes they have, put them in the best situation to where you can subliminally help them with their weakness, like CB said. So like I said, and it's funny because me and my boy, we were just talking about one of our friends. You know, he's having a rough time right now. You know, in the girl department. You know, so but the thing is, we were trying to figure out why he was having that problem, and it was because he was lacking substance. And we've told him this before. And it's not, that's our boy. So we know for a fact that when we tell him this, it's nothing personal. It's like, we want to see you excel. Like, we want to put you in a place where you're happy, and we know that you can communicate with whatever female that you want, But right now, that's an issue, but we're going to work on that. So we're going to put you in a situation or situations where, you can elevate, you can get back to where you were before, or, relationship wise, where you want to get to in the next, year and a half, just baby steps. We're trying to put them through, but I think that's kind of how I'll pinpoint somebody that I feel like, I feel like I would have a bad collaboration with without damaging that relationship. Like, of course, once again, like CB said, like you want to be blunt with somebody. Like both of y'all know, I don't care what I say sometimes, but I know who I'm talking to as well.
Right.
So it's always, I do have a filter, but I know like my area, I know my surroundings as well. So I know how to keep some stuff safeguarded, and some stuff I will just, let fly.
Right. So mine is pulling people up. And so people that are not on my level, but I always hit people with the same thing every time. Y'all guys know this, and this is kind of where this podcast avenue is gone, man. I hit you with love first. You know what I mean? It's just, I love you. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know how else to get you where I need to get you. I don't know what strengths you are, but people don't understand that love is not a feeling, it's a choice. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get up and you choose to love people each and every day. And so my thing about people that are with the attribute that I don't want to collaborate with, but they might be on my team, I have to choose to love that person and to help them elevate. You see what I'm saying? And then I can do all the things you're talking about. I can open up communication avenues. I can find things that they are good with or good at to try to help them elevate, right? But at the same time, I can't look down on a person that's not on my level, right? And not love them. But at the same time, love is a choice. I choose to love you, but I'm not going to baby you. And you guys all know that. Coach B loves you, but he ain't going to baby you. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you some nuggets, some gems, and then, you're going to have to make a choice. Just like I had to make a choice to love you, you got to make a choice to be better. You see what I'm saying? So that's mine. Jay, we're getting to the end of our show and just getting ready to wrap this up. But at the end, we like to huddle up. And when we huddle up, we basically give the opportunity to reflect and just talk about, some things, one or two things that we can leave our listeners with. We call these call to actions. And just basically call to action is telling our viewers and listeners just something to do, something to pinpoint. I'm going to start, man. My call to action right now is find somebody that you haven't collaborated with or that you might not want to collaborate with, and infuse love into them. Make a choice to elevate them. Find something that you can collaborate with them. It's so easy to do a collaboration. You can literally walk down the street and help the person next door. You can go volunteer. You can go do so many things with collaboration. And especially right now in COVID-19, find somebody that you're not particularly used to collaborating with. Find them, have a conversation with them, inject love, and I promise you, you'll feel a lot better. Jay, what you got?
I'm gonna go opposite of you. I'm gonna say find that person that you've been collaborating with the most, and figure out something that you guys. What's the next plan? Like my quote is on to the next. So you guys have conquered this. What's the next thing we can do to elevate our lives? That is my biggest thing. So if you can find that person that you've been hanging out with, you may playing basketball with, going to school with, studying with, working with, find that person and make a plan, elevate yourselves. Like I said, COVID's out here, so you don't know what's going to happen next. So I feel like that's exactly what needs to happen.
Thank you for that, Jim. Thank you.
And for me, I want you to find the team that you're with, whether it be your family, whether it be something at school, like an extracurricular activity. Find a team. I know everybody has a team, whether it's a team of friends, and ask them what makes you a good teammate or a bad teammate. And then figure out how you can either strengthen your strength or grow your weakness.
There you go. There you go. Well, at the end of every show, we like to give a little bit of love to our mottos. I'm going to take us out. Start, Jay, you can go. And then, of course, Caitlin, you'll finish this up today. Man, my motto is let love be the frequency. Coach B loves you.
Everybody knows my motto. On to the next.
And of course, area code 459. Let's get 1% better every day.
Every day. Well, you guys have a good one. RJ, thank you for your time. Peace.
Peace.